To clients, cash flow, and coherence. I am Kaylin. I'm so glad you're here with me today. We are gathering because my personal mission for this year ahead, 2026, is to make the coaches, the women in my circle, as wealthy and well-resourced as possible. My take and the way I really feel about this is that it is our sacred duty to be as well resourced as humanly possible because when soul-led women hold the wealth and the power and the influence, everyone benefits. So if you feel like you have been playing small in your business and you are really ready to unlock that next era where you are well resourced, that you feel the abundance that is there for you. Today, we are going to be covering both energetic and strategic practical tools to help you shift into powerful alignment and momentum with your business. And if your Instagram algorithm is anything like mine, you have been inundated with information that how we have just entered the year of the fire horse. This is, syncs up with Chinese New Year on the second new moon of the calendar year. And this is really a powerful time. This specific alignment between the element of fire and the animal of the horse only happens once every 60 years. And this is a time of really, really strong momentum, pulling us forward towards our soul's mission. We just crossed over into the year of the fire horse yesterday, if you were watching this in real time. And so this is such a potent moment for us to be gathering. The women in my community and my circles, my friendships, we are all really feeling this energy, this powerful shift. So I am so, so glad that you were feeling it, whether you knew it, consciously or just feeling it on that, soul body level. I'm so glad that you are here for this conversation today. And I would love to know who is in the room. Drop in the chat where you are joining us from and what your business is. I would love to know who is here with us today. All right, let me move things around my screen so I can see the chat. That's always helpful. I can see your faces too. Hi. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start, but I'm going to circle back and see the intros in the chat in a moment. Here is something I really, really want you to hear and feel at like a bone deep level. You are meant to be a wealthy woman. I want you to sit with that for a moment. You are meant to be a wealthy woman. All right, I'm going to pop over into the chat as you hold that truth in your body and see who is here for this conversation today. We've got Cindy, born in the year of the fire horse. Oh my gosh, this is like a full circle moment for you, Cindy. Yes, I love that you are here and ready for this. David is here, health and wellness coach based out of Florida. Hey. Oh, and Cindy is from Oregon. What do we have? A book coach. Beautiful. Sierra is here, neuro leadership consultant out of San Francisco. We've got Sherry from Millis, Massachusetts, currently an attorney, but wanting to pivot to a more creative, sacred business. Yes, Sherry, love that. Perfect year to do it. Simla, hey Simla, owner of Healthcraft, holistic nutrition and health coach focused on women 40 plus with autoimmune and perimenopause. We need you, Simla. Oh my goodness. Janet is here. Hey, Janet, from Connecticut, mindset coach for athletes and teams. We have got a great group gathered here. I'm so honored that you've made the time to be here today and really feel into what it would look like, what it would be like for you to be a wealthy woman. So I want you to close your eyes and just take 3 deep breaths while repeating to yourself, I am meant to be a wealthy woman. I am meant to be a wealthy woman. One more deep breath with that. I am meant to be a wealthy woman. And I invite you to just notice how your body is feeling as you repeat that, as you think that, feel into that. There is no right or wrong here. You might be feeling expanded and like, hell yes, or you might be feeling contracted, intense, or a bit of anxiety. Maybe your mind is fighting it. Whatever is showing up is okay. It is just information. And if you're open to it, I would love for you to share one or two words in the chat about what you are feeling as you begin to sit with this idea of being a wealthy woman. Amber said she feels more calm. Ah, your nervous system is responding. She's like, yes, you are. Thank you. I love that. Who else? What are you feeling? And again, if it's something that's not on like the positive side of the spectrum, that is okay. This information is so, so useful. It can help us make those powerful changes. We've got from Deva a mix of excitement and nervousness. Yes. Simla is saying excited, confident, and also nervous. Very real. Get that. Cindy, I feel more inspired to keep on keeping on. So it's really important to notice how our body responds, and it might respond differently at another moment. This is how you're responding now. But it really serves us to take notice of where our growth edge is, because then we can intentionally work with this to feel more safe as we expand. And now I want to share how I know with every fiber of my being that you are meant to be a wealthy woman. And here it is. It's because you are compassionate, you're kind, you're visionary, you have a heart of service. You want to help people through the work that you do. You're not just doing this work because you want to make money or get rich or get famous. You're doing it because you care so, so much, because it matters, because your soul is calling you forward to do this work and you cannot deny it any longer. And here's the thing, your soul, she's a badass. She has no issues with money. She knows that she is well resourced, fully resourced, infinitely abundant. She has the capacity to receive so much more than you are letting in right now. And I would go a step further and say that it is honestly your spiritual duty, especially in today's world, to be as wealthy and well resourced as possible, because money in the hands of big hearted, generous, visionary women like you is what crumbles those outdated structures. Because when women like us hold the money, people are fed, they're housed, they're cared for, children are protected and educated, women have autonomy over their bodily decisions. Women with wealth make sure their families and their communities, both their local community and their global communities, are taken care of. They put money into small businesses, minority owned businesses, women owned businesses, so the economy thrives, not just the big corporations. So if you've been stuck in this cycle thinking it's greedy or it's selfish or it's not spiritual to want to make lots of money, I challenge that. And I hope you are feeling the dissonance of that belief with the truth. I think that playing small and safe and not helping at the level you truly can, that's the real problem. That's the real issue. That should be the thing that we're concerned about, not the desire for expansion, for resources, for wealth, because I know you're not wanting all of that just to hoard it and like go to your office and count in stacks of gold coins. You're wanting to be so well resourced so that you feel that sense of overflow, and then you can share that. You can pour into others with it. So I ask you now, and drop a yes in the chat or an emoji if you're feeling it. Who is ready to become an unbelievably wealthy woman? Let me know how you're feeling. Drop a yes, emojis. Yes, all capital letters. Love it. Fire emoji for the fire horse, right? Mm, yes. Feeling it. Yes, yes, yes. I am loving it. I'm feeling it right along with you, ladies. And before we go any further, I want to quickly ground us in who I am and the lens I am speaking from. If you're new to my world, welcome. My name is Kaylin Asher. I have been a business coach for over a decade and an entrepreneur for more than 20 years at this point. I've built multiple businesses. I've generated millions in revenue, supported my clients in making millions too, and have had the privilege of reaching thousands of women all over the world with my work, primarily heart led coaches building meaningful, high impact businesses just like you. Alongside that, I've been on a personal quest for self knowledge, for deep inner connection, probably since my late teen years. And I've maintained a daily meditation practice for over 8 years. I'm a certified yoga and meditation instructor, and my work is informed by decades of personal inquiry, embodiment, and real life application, not just theory. Because what's really important for me and what I teach really lives at that intersection of the energetics, of the inner alignment, of the intangible and practical, strategic, profitable business execution. Because that's what I've craved. I feel like throughout my journey, I either had to go to the teachers and the guides who were all about the personal growth and the internal, the mindset, the manifestation, law of attraction, all of those things, or the strategic business coaches who were like, this is what you need to say, this is the framework you need to follow. I was really hungering something that was a blending of the two. And so I decided to build that. So this is not about feeling just good for the sake of feeling good or bypassing work that it truly does take to grow a successful coaching business. It's about becoming so internally coherent with the woman that you truly are, that clients and cash flow are no longer something that you are grasping for or pushing for. It's just something that you receive automatically. So let's look at what we are going to cover today on this conversation. So I'm going to walk you through why so many coaches cycle between clarity and feeling amazing about their business and the track that they're on, and self-doubt and questioning everything, and feast where the clients and the money are flowing in, and then famine where everything dries up. And the one thing that you need to shift for soulmate clients to enroll consistently and for cash flow to double, triple, quadruple. I'm also going to share the framework I have personally used to build a coaching business that's made millions and supported thousands of women coaches in the process. We're going to look at the direct link between your inner wealthy woman self and real tangible business assets like a premium group program, a clean client attraction system, and messaging that converts without convincing. And finally, we're going to take a look at practical steps you can take right now to anchor into your most wealthy, well-resourced era of your coaching business yet, including an opportunity to connect with me for a private one-on-one call if you are really ready to make some power moves after our conversation today. And live attendees will get first dibs at the limited spots on my calendar, and I'll share more about that later as we continue. So first, let's look at the one thing you need to shift to escape the cycles of clarity, then self-doubt, feast, and then famine, and open up to clients and cash flow consistently. So first, I want to speak to some cycles and patterns that you might be stuck in now because they keep us spinning our wheels and in inertia instead of feeling connected and anchored into our inner wealthy woman who is essentially our soul's expression, right? She wants to guide us. We've been led to believe that we are either lucky enough to feel clear, confident, and energized, or we have to push and force through whatever has come up for our business, whatever challenge or obstacle, despite how we're feeling. But what's actually happening for many women when you're experiencing these cycles is this: you're experiencing random and fleeting alignment. Essentially, you're like bumping into your your inner guide, your inner wealthy woman. You're feeling lit up, inspired, abundant, on track. You're like, "Yes, I see the big picture. I know the path I must walk. I am ready for this." You feel so capable. You feel like the goal is inevitable. And you're doing this almost accidentally. And because you don't know how to hold it or return to it intentionally, it doesn't last. So your business starts to have this push-pull energy where you feel really inspired and then completely drained, super confident, and then you're doubting everything. You feel really decisive and clear, and this is what I should do, and then you feel stuck and you're second guessing everything. You have that feast moment where you're like, yes, people are coming in, things are flowing, it feels great, and then it bottoms out into that famine cycle. These cycles, and I've been stuck in all of them at different times, they are exhausting. Not because, and they're not there because you're doing anything wrong, but they're happening because you're trying to build a business without that stable anchored center. And alignment is the one thing that will bring us back into that stable center. And in a few minutes, I'm actually going to share with you the framework I've developed to support sustained and intentional alignment so that you can operate as your inner wealthy woman every single day and attract clients and cash flow and opportunities that your soul has been craving. So I'm curious, in this moment, who feels stuck in one or more of these cycles right now? You can either name the cycle or you can just say me. If you feel like one or more of these is affecting your momentum and your ability to call in clients and create, abundant cash flow in your business. I just want to get a read on who is feeling a resonance with this piece of it. So we've got the inspired drained cycle, the feast or famine, decisive, and then stuck in second guessing. Got it. Bit of doubt and second guessing, right? These happen and we think they're normal, and they are normal, but they don't have to be our normal. We can make powerful shifts, which I'm going to be talking about today, that help us limit these cycles, or at least limit the downside of the cycle. So you're operating more in inspired than drained, where often it's the inverse. I love that awareness, Simla. She said, I'm still in the honeymoon startup phase. So easier to stay inspired with little hints of doubt just beginning to crop up now and then. Yeah, the more real it gets, the more we think that we should be more practical and that we should be more worried about things. But if we can stay in that inspired, elevated place, we're going to move forward so much more quickly, and we're going to be more magnetic to the opportunities and, the things that we're truly desiring. And that's beautiful. I already feel completely aligned. So do you feel like you're calling in all of the clients and cash flow already? That's amazing. And we have someone who's saying, I can feel the truth of what you're saying, an opportunity to go to a convention to receive an award, and I'm doubting whether I should go. Oh, that's beautiful. It's all starting to arrive. That's amazing. Okay. Thank you all for your vulnerable shares. I really do appreciate it. So I want to dive a bit deeper into the signs of misalignment so you are really clear if they are affecting you in your business right now. Because the more awareness that we have, and neutral awareness, not judging awareness, the more we have the power to shift into a new way of being, the more opportunity we have to choose differently. When alignment is present, you feel confident, on track, lit up, inspired, creative, all the things we just mentioned. You show up as your best self. You feel clear, you like things are inevitable, that things will work out. But when that alignment fades, when we pop out of it, we cut off access to that internal well of confidence and clarity. And then we start that cycle of questioning our work, questioning our business, questioning our decisions. And when alignment isn't practiced intentionally, it's hard to sustain. It's like a muscle, right? If we want to get stronger, we're going to go to the gym and lift weights, not once, not for a week, not for a month, but consistently over time. So here are some ways you can tell if you are in misalignment. You're over explaining or overthinking, like you're trying to convince yourself that what you're talking about is a good idea when you're explaining it to others, when you're talking about your business to others or about your offers. You're tweaking stuff behind the scenes, like your website or creating graphics on Canva instead of taking the bold action and actually being visible and putting yourself out there. And often because you're sort of unclear what those bold actions should be because none of them feel like necessarily like the right next step because you're not in alignment with them yet. Your work takes more energy than it should. It feels effortful or draining or isn't producing the results that you anticipated. And you feel like for how much you're working and how much you're devoting to your business, you should be reaching more people, making more money, seeing different results. Or perhaps you're attracting interest in the work that you're doing, but not decisive commitment and cash flow feels tight and stressful because of that. Or in general, your business just feels heavier than it looks from the outside. And sometimes I remember this over the years, having those moments where I've just like fantasized about walking away from all of it. Of like, what would it look like to just free myself? And the thing is I'd probably go start another business and I would eventually have all of the same problems because I was being the same person instead of shifting that internal state. So if you're experiencing any of these things, again, you're not doing anything wrong. This is completely normal. It simply means that your internal alignment system isn't practiced at coming online and staying online. So it arrives and then it fades unexpectedly, leaving you at its mercy. Whether it's there or not there, you feel like you don't have much control over it and you're swinging from confidence and clarity over to doubt and worry again and again. And it just slows everything down. And the thing is that we then often reach for those surface level optimizations to fix that. But the truth is, no shiny business tactic that you see in an Instagram reel is going to shift that internal patterning that has developed. Because this isn't a surface level strategy issue. This is an alignment recalibration that is needed. So just to name it really clearly, the one thing that is needed to break the negative cycle is for you to have a way to access and maintain alignment intentionally. Imagine what would be possible if you were in that on track, inspired, lit up, clear, creative, momentum energy. Let's not say all of the time because we're human, but most of the time, if that was your default state, instead of procrastination or feeling like an imposter or feeling like, oh, it's just out of reach. If I put in more time, more energy, more effort, maybe someday I'll get there. Imagine if all of it was here now. Because when you are aligned, you are operating as your most creative, most magnetic, most authentic, most resourced, most abundant, most powerful self. You are already a wealthy woman. You already feel that abundance within yourself, even if it hasn't shown up on the 3D yet, because there is a little bit of a delay. It takes a little bit longer for the external manifestations to happen, but we can shift into that internal coherence at the snap of fingers. So I want to share with you now, my slides keep jumping. I want to share with you now the framework that I have developed that helps bridge the gap between the energetics of internal alignment and the practical layer of business strategy. Because for me, this was the missing link that I had been craving for years as I worked on my business, as I grew my business. I felt like sometimes focusing just on alignment felt too amorphous and intangible, although it felt good. But concentrating just on business strategy and following the rules and the structures and the systems could feel a little heavy and misaligned because I was missing that soulful piece. This framework that I'm about to share gets alignment and strategy talking to each other through you, through your internal operating system, so that you can anchor into your wealthy woman self. And then she gets to express herself through all of the pieces of your business in a profitable and strategic way. This is what I teach and what I have put at the center of my entire body of work so that coaches can achieve this internal state intentionally and then build and grow their businesses from that place. I call it sacred self alignment. It is the practice of returning to internal coherence intentionally and then translating that internal resonance into magnetic, profitable business assets and strategies. When you are aligned, your decisions, your messaging, your offers, your leadership come from the truest version of you. And that is what I help my clients access and build their coaching businesses from. And it's what I want to share with you today. This is not about building your business based on what is going viral on TikTok or what you think is working from someone you watch from a distance on Instagram. This is about connecting to that deep internal knowing, that wealthy woman version of you, and letting her mission, her business come forth. So, this is the visual representation that I have developed for sacred self alignment. And the thing I love about this is that it gives us the opportunity to feel these coherent points in our body and then translate their expression into tangible business assets. It has both halves of the magical system of the alignment and the strategy. Vision, the first point, lives at your third eye, right at the center of your forehead. And it's the future you're building towards. It's the big vision, the mission that's beckoning to you. It's the legacy that you are creating in real time. This is your North Star that guides you forward. And then we have your voice, which is energetically centered at your throat chakra. And it's the truth that you are meant to speak. It's the message you actually believe, not the one you were told by the marketing expert that you should be saying, but the message you truly believe that you want to shout from the rooftops, even if it's a little confronting or a little controversial. It's the way you talk when you are not performing or people pleasing. And then we have your values. They are anchored at your heart center, and they represent what matters most to you in life and work. They are your standards, your boundaries, your priorities, the things you love, and the principles your business must reflect. These are also a connective piece that your soulmate clients will value and mirror back to you. And then there is your vibe. This lives deep in your belly, in your womb space, and it is your most authentic expression. This is your unique frequency. It's the felt experience of being in your world. This is the energy that people feel when they interact with you, with your content, with what you create and share. This brings cohesion through all the pieces of the business when your vibe is woven through everything. And when these four energetic centers are in sync, your business starts to sing. And everything you create from this state of alignment speaks clearly and directly to your soulmate clients. But the thing is, when one or more of these is off, or we're not feeling it, if it hasn't been like really cleared and opened up, it doesn't really matter how good the strategy is or how well it worked for someone else. Everything feels heavier and less effective because you are not fully expressed as yourself, your truest self. To give it sort of a metaphor or an analogy, strategy is like music. And no matter how beautiful it's intended to be, if it's being played on an out of tune instrument, it will not sound right. But when you come into full alignment, when you wake up, your vision, your voice, your values, your vibe, when you are moving and operating from that place of coherence, you bring your instrument back in tune. And then whatever strategy you choose, whatever music you choose, sounds better, works better, feels better. And so I would love to know in the chat, intuitively, just feeling into what I shared, looking at the visual here on the screen. What point is strongest for you and what point is weakest for you? So just put strong and share which one, weak and share which one. I'm curious to see if there's, if there's any kind of pattern that we're noticing about which one is strong and which one feels a little underdeveloped or underexpressed. Oh, thank you, Dorian. Yeah, I love this visual that we created. It's so good to have you here, Dory. Thank you for joining. So we've got Cindy saying the weakest feels like her vibe. Janet says strong is values, weak is voice. Yeah, strong is vision, weak is voice. Strong values, weak voice. I feel strong in all of these. That's awesome. Weak voice, strong values, strong vision and values, medium voice, medium vibe. Yes. Okay. So this is what I expected. The one that the majority, and we're even seeing it here with the Sierra said it. She said strong in the vision values vibe, weak in the voice, medium in the vibe. Voice tends to be the one that is underdeveloped because voice forces all of this stuff that we can feel on the inside. We can see our vision in our mind. We can feel our values in our heart. We can feel our vibe, even maybe when we're like dancing or feeling really connected in our bodies or moving our bodies, like if we're doing yoga or physical activity. But voice, when it comes to taking all of that other stuff and actually boom, out into the world, is the one where we're like, oh, I don't know. It gets blocked right there. And I know for me personally, my anxiety, when I feel an anxiety, I feel it in my like upper chest and throat. Like it feels like a clamp right there. And so it has a physical correspondence to the voice being weak. And this makes perfect sense because we've been told not to be loud, not to be controversial, not to upset people with what we say. But this is exactly what we need to do to share our work and our brilliance and our soul's mission in the most powerful way possible and help the most people possible. And so I really appreciate all of you being so in tune that you're like, this is strong, this is weak, this is medium, like you immediately knew. We know this. We know this intuitively. And we know where we like to hang out, right? Like I'm a girl that loves to hang out in vision. I'm like, yes, vision all day. But when it shifts to voice, sometimes that's where it gets a little sticky. It's like, oh, okay. Well, what should I say? And what's going to make the biggest, impact? Or, I can get a little caught up in the expression of the voice where the vision feels really natural. And this is so normal that we will have some that feel stronger, some that feel less strong and a little underdeveloped that we feel less in touch with. And I invite you to just notice as you move through your days ahead how your connection or disconnection from each of these points is making itself known in real time. So here's the cool thing. Practicing sacred self-alignment, and this is something I teach inside my programs about how to develop a practice that drops you into this every single day. This connects you directly to your inner wealthy woman, to your soul self. This is the self that is divinely guided, infinitely resourced, magnetic, creative, powerful. She is walking the path of her soul. She is a force of nature. And here's the part that I want to make very, very explicit. Sacred self-alignment isn't just something that makes you feel better. Like, yay, I feel so aligned. It's what enables you to build an aligned, profitable business and identify the right strategies that actually will hold and support your next level of expression and expansion as a coach, as a woman, and as a leader. Because when your alignment, your internal alignment stabilizes, three things happen at the same time, and we're going to walk through each of them together. The first is that your work simplifies. Instead of having dozens of ideas that all feel a bit conflicting and you feel pulled in different directions at different times, following those shiny objects, your body of work starts to organize itself around a singular mission that you can feel all the way to your core. This is wealthy woman energy. She is focused. And what matters most when it comes to your work and effort will come so clearly to the surface, and you'll also see where you're wasting time and energy. You're going to see what you no longer need to make time and space for, and what your healthy boundaries actually are. And you are going to feel confident to hold them and honor them. And you're going to see what your most essential work actually is and how to build a signature offer that reflects it. So, for the women that I work with, this is where a premium group program emerges for them. It's the container that holds their signature methodology, it steps them into their truest leadership, it creates a container with respectful, self honoring boundaries. It gives them that spacious schedule that they've been desiring. And a beautiful piece of it is that it creates a community around their work where individuals can connect with one another and support one another as well. So, a premium group program is a container that works so well for the soul led coach because it can hold the depth of your work when you are operating from a place of sacred self alignment on a daily basis. And that is precisely what happened for Natalie. I'm going to share her story here. Natalie, within 4 months of working together, she blossomed from an uninspired and burnt out life coach into leading a full cohort of women inside her new signature program that was anchored in the sacred feminine, which was something that she hadn't allowed herself to even consider that she could hold space around that and in this way. And she did all of this while working flexible hours that felt good to her. She quadrupled her pricing and immediately filled the second round of her program after raising those prices. And she was feeling in complete alignment with her soul's purpose, most importantly. The next piece that comes together when you're operating from a place of alignment is that your client attraction strengthens. When your vision, voice, values, and vibe are coherent, your messaging stops being performative or feeling like a version of you and starts becoming magnetic because you are fully online. You are no longer trying to sound right or be palatable or trying to one up others in the industry of like feeling that competition in the background. Your words land because they are true. And no one else can speak that truth like you can. This is the place where, when I'm working with clients, where they begin to weave their unique sacred self alignment signature through their entire client attraction system, through the emails that they write, through all of their communications. This makes their work undeniable and unparalleled. They become the obvious choice to their soulmate clients because their content is so clear and compelling and distinct. All the emails that they write, they feel like personal notes from a real person, not something that was created for mass marketing by AI. And all of their messaging begins to have this through line that feels steady and stable and dependable because they are so clear on their mission and they bring that through in everything that they create. And when you have a client attraction system built from sacred self-alignment, you stop needing to convince people to work with you because the right people, they recognize themselves. They see the mirror that you're holding and they show up ready to buy. This is how premium clients find you without you chasing them down or without you having to convince them. And this is how wealthy women operate and serve in a really big way, because this is what allows them to scale. And that brings us to another woman I want to highlight, Danielle. Danielle was a career coach, is a career coach, who within months of working together created a brand new premium program that felt like the perfect expression of the next era of her business, installed this really beautiful streamlined client attraction system with her dialed in messaging, reflected her authentic voice, her authentic vibe, and celebrated over $60,000 in sales, more than she ever had brought in when she had tried to launch her previous program that she thought filled a need, but it didn't really resonate with her that deeply. And the third piece that I want to highlight when you are operating from that place of alignment is that alignment expands your capacity. This is the piece so many people underestimate. When you are aligned, some amazing things happen. Decisions take less time and energy because you instantly know what is a hell yes and what is a solid no for you. Your boundaries are upheld because you no longer are people pleasing. You're no longer putting people's needs before your own. Your calendar feels spacious and intentional, and you start running your business with confidence and conviction instead of feeling like you are at the mercy of your schedule and the mercy of what your clients need or what your family needs or the people outside of you. Your business also stops leaking money, energy, and time because you are no longer feeling like you have to hold everything together. Things have a place, things have a system, things are operating with intention, and you don't feel as rushed or frantic about all of it. And really importantly, you stop undercharging and finally feel ready to call in those premium prices because you recognize and honor the value of the work you provide. And the beautiful thing is when you are charging those premium prices, you call in more accountable clients who are ready truly to invest and be held accountable to that investment. And when you are so well resourced and you are working with these amazing clients, then if you choose, you also can offer scholarships and opportunities for people who truly cannot afford your work but would benefit from it. And you can make space for them from a place of overflow instead of feeling like you have to discount. With the clients that we work with, this is the point where we install those simple, scalable business systems that allow them to serve more and more clients and increase cash flow without giving more of their time or energy in order to do so. This is the point in their own sacred alignment journey that they finally feel ready to hold that growing business that is reaching more and more people and bringing in more and more money each month without their nervous system giving out in the process, right? We can feel that right at the top of this call. We were talking about what, we are meant to be wealthy women and how there was that dissonance for some of us between, yes, this feels true, and I feel nervous at the same time. And so practicing sacred self-alignment intentionally and then bringing that through into your business allows you to meet that growth edge with love and be able to expand without your nervous system freaking out in the process. It anchors you into that internal steadiness instead of feeling at the whim of your business's ups and downs and letting that dysregulate you. Alignment is what allows your business to actually grow and scale sustainably without things breaking in the process, either systems of the business or your nervous system inside of you. And this is exactly the path that Kathy walked. Within a few months, Kathy launched her soul aligned premium program at $7,900. This is the most she had ever charged for anything. And she filled her first cohort thanks to her newly defined client attraction system, and then went on to cross over $400,000 in revenue later that same year. It is really remarkable how quickly things click in when you tap into your power and allow that to come through in your business offers, your messaging, your marketing, your pricing, your strategies, your systems. When that power is infused through all of it, things can shift quickly and profoundly. So, this is why strategy without alignment eventually breaks, because it makes it really challenging for our systems to hold that. You can build a group program based solely on a market need, but it won't sell consistently. You could build a funnel that says all the right things from someone else's framework, but it won't convert cleanly. Or you can raise your prices because a coach or someone online told you to, but it will feel shaky and not sustainable. Alignment not only helps you determine the right strategy for you and your business, but it also enhances the result of that strategy. So, this is not about choosing between alignment or strategy. It's about alignment first. So the strategy actually works, dropping into alignment, coming into coherence, and then moving, coming into coherence, and then deciding, coming into coherence, and then writing that email, right? Like coming into yourself from that place and then moving into action, into expression. When sacred self alignment is in place, the business pieces stop feeling so unclear and confusing, and they start to feel obvious. Like, well, of course, I'm going to start a Substack. Of course, I need a place to express this important work in the world. Of course, I'm going to pitch podcasts so that I can get this message out there. Of course, I'm going to create a signature offer that I can call people in and hold space for. That's community based. This is when growth becomes natural instead of aspirational. You become so coherent with the mission that the path unfolds before you. And now I want to, in our last few minutes here, take a moment to introduce you to the container we hold for our clients to walk this path with intention and support. And that is inside my program called Amplify, where we support you in the journey of scaling with soul, strategy, and staying power. Amplify is for emerging and established coaches who are ready to run their entire business from sacred self alignment with a premium group program at the helm and a complete client attraction system to convert premium buyers with ease and consistency. We hold this container over 6 months where you get live support from me and my team. We have 3 intimate group coaching calls per month. We've also built a custom GPT, a custom AI coach. Her name is Clarity, to support you 24/7. She is trained on all of the frameworks and all of the pieces of Amplify so she can meet you and guide you through the process. We also bring in guest experts from my network to bring in complementary information and really support you in getting the full picture of what you need to build your business in the most aligned, strategic way possible. This is a really intimate, high caliber community of women, and you get personal feedback from me every step of the way. This is really for that woman who is in that place of, I'm a capable coach. I feel like I'm doing the right things. I know I have important work to do. And she is ready to step into the era of her wealthy woman, of being that premium coach, that way shower, that leader with undeniable authority, really leading from her clarity, from her power, and not power over, but her innate essence being expressed so strongly and so beautifully that other people feel the permission to wake up their own power too. By the end of our time in Amplify, you will have a premium group program fully developed and launched, typically in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. You will have a full client attraction ecosystem installed in your business. This looks like a magnetic message video. This is a beautiful opt-in that we help you create, followed by a nurture sequence that takes them right to the virtual doorstep of your program. And you will have a full 12-month custom growth plan with aligned funnel filling strategies. So you know exactly where you are going to be focusing your time and energy moving forward to continue to spread your work and reach the people you are meant to reach. And in this moment, we've got 3 gorgeous bonuses for women who join us before the end of the month. So for the next 3 women who join us inside of Amplify before the end of February, you will also receive access to my most popular program that has served hundreds of women. It's called Scale Up Accelerator. This container has lots of resources, a beautiful community of women, and we also currently are offering 2 coaching calls per week inside of Scale Up Accelerator. So there is a lot of live support that would complement your time at Amplify that is available through this bonus. Bonus number 2, we've got for the next 3 women who join us before the end of the month, you get 3 extra months of coaching and support and community. This is really beautiful. So it takes the 6-month live container of Amplify into a 9-month container. So you will have a really beautiful timeline that does not feel rushed or stressed whatsoever for you to get really clear on your sacred self-alignment, express that into a group program, build out the client attraction system, and launch it in real time while we are still working together so that you are seeing momentum and cash flow and clients inside the Amplify container. And bonus number 3, our final bonus for the next 3 women who join Amplify this month, you will also receive founding member pricing. This is only available for the next 3 women who join us. It saves you $1,200 on your enrollment. And so the last piece I want to share, if this is really striking a chord for you, if you are lighting up with a glimmer of alignment or you're feeling that connection to your inner wealthy woman in this very moment, I invite you to schedule a 20-minute calibration call with me personally. I've opened up time today and tomorrow on my personal calendar for these calls. So you will not be meeting with a member of my team. You'll be speaking to me personally. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, who I should have introduced at the top. I'm sorry, Lisa. Lisa is my beautiful client concierge. She helps everyone inside our program, so supportive. She just dropped the link in the chat for all of you. During this private one-on-one conversation together, we will identify which alignment point or points is out of sync and keeping you stuck in those unhelpful cycles or patterns within your business. We're going to clarify the biggest growth opportunity for your business right now and what waits on the other side of unlocking that opportunity. And we will talk about how Amplify can support you in your business and if it's the right next step. So if you are feeling the pull and think working together inside of Amplify might be the right next step for you, I really encourage you to book that 20-minute call with me so we can connect personally and feel into this together. I can answer your questions. We can really evaluate if this container is going to move you forward in the way that you were intending. So we've got a couple minutes left. I want to be respectful and honor the hour time that we set forth with everybody, but I would love to hear in the chat, what is your number 1 takeaway from our time together today? What is the number 1 thing that jumped out at you, that landed for you, that you are going to hold in your heart and carry forward? And of course, if you have a question from anything I shared in the workshop or about Amplify, I do have a few minutes, like I said, to answer those if you want to drop those in the chat as well. And as you are sharing your takeaways in the chat, I just want to say I really enjoyed our conversation today. I hope it just really gave you the reassurance that if for whatever reason you are in a stuck moment in your business or feeling resistance or friction, there is nothing wrong. And you have the power to shift it quickly and forever, right? Like you can shift out of that. And this is the perfect time to do it, right? At the top of the call, we were talking about how we just moved from the year of the snake, where we were shedding and releasing, into the year of the fire horse. The fire horse is inviting you to step into your most coherent and aligned identity so you can move forward towards your soul's mission with momentum and focus. And so this is a really beautiful time to be having the conversation we had today. And for those of you that it really, you were feeling it, right? Where you're just like, yes, yes, like I'm ready to be that wealthy woman. I am ready to feel aligned. I'm ready to express this through my business. This is an awesome moment to move forward. And if having a call together would support that and give you the clarity that you need, I'm here for it. Okay, let's see what's being shared. Alignment makes everything else easier. Yes. I can only help people if they know who I am. Stronger voice. Yes, I love that. It's like the big takeaway and then the practical step. Like I need to express through my voice more. Deva, being aligned is so important and it feels better. It feels better and it's more efficient, it's more effective. It helps on a really practical level in your business. The benefits of sacred self-alignment and the outcomes of sacred self-alignment. Yes, it's so, so powerful. It, like I said, it feels so good and so nourishing for you as a person. And then it also has such an important and direct application for your business because your business gets to become an expression of that internal coherence, that power within you. Because when we're tapped into that, and we've all felt it, right? We've all had those moments where we feel lit up and aligned and focused and on track. And yes, I see the vision and I know how to get there. And then we felt it bottom out where we're like, how did I think this was a good idea? How did I feel so good about this yesterday? Imagine being in that state of focused clarity as your default. That's what's available. How productive you would be, how magnetic your communications would be. Dory said, the biggest takeaway for me is how important it is to come into coherence and alignment in order to make the best decisions from your center, your values, and your vibe. These are gorgeous. Lisa, do you mind dropping the link one more time for everyone just as we're wrapping up in these final minutes here? Thank you. Perfect. We are going to share the replay either before the weekend for sure. Tomorrow, probably. We'll get everything processed and over to you. So if there's any piece that you're hoping to revisit, any slide that you want to pause on or journal through, it'll all be there for you. We'll also send out the link to book your calibration call if that's something you would like to do. We'll send it out via email. Although I do encourage you, if you're here live with me and it's speaking to you, click the link and grab your spot now because I only have a handful of spots available on my calendar intentionally because I really get that this is going to speak to a very specific person who knows that now is the time to move forward. So, oh, you're welcome, Deva. Thank you all for your presence, your energy, your contributions in the chat. I really so appreciate you being here for this, open to this, available for this. And I hope too that I get the opportunity to connect with some of you more deeply in private conversation over the next couple of days. And then perhaps from there, stepping into that even deeper container of Amplify to really make this a lived practice and lived expression in your business so you truly can be that wealthy, well-resourced woman in the year ahead. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you for all the love in the chat. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you again soon.